This topic is economics. The first word is acquire. Acquire. It's a verb. It has two meanings. Number one, to obtain something, usually by buying it or being given it, but often the means is not specified. Number two, to gain a new characteristic or ability. Usually it develops over time. Let's see the word family. First we have the noun acquisition. That means the act of acquiring something or a thing that somebody acquires, especially a large thing like a company or a piece of land. We have the adjective acquisitive. That means wanting to get and have a lot of possessions. This is a formal adjective. We don't use it a lot when we speak, but you might see it in written texts. Let's see some examples. The corporation acquired several small businesses in the city. How did the museum acquire all those famous paintings? She has acquired strong skills in German. The next word is affluent. Affluent. It's an adjective. Affluent means having a lot of money or possessions. It's basically a formal way of saying rich. The noun is affluence, and that means the state of being affluent. Usage tip. This is a false friend in some languages. In some languages like Spanish and French, there is a similar adjective and it's related to rivers. In Old English, that was also the case, but in modern day English, the adjective just means rich or wealthy. Let's see some collocations. We have an affluent person, an affluent family, an affluent country, and an affluent neighborhood. Some financial advisors only work with very affluent individuals. There are often good public schools in affluent neighborhoods. Now we have the verb allocate. Allocate. This means to give something to someone or something for a specific purpose, often after an official decision. The noun is allocation. That means the act of allocating or the amount that is allocated. Here's a usage tip. This verb can be used a few different sentence structures. First we have to allocate something to somebody or something. For example, we allocated more money to the project. You can also say to allocate something for something. For example, we allocated more money for the project. And you can say to allocate somebody or something. For example, we allocated the project more money. These all mean the same thing. Don't worry, you don't need to memorize them or use them all, but you should be aware that there are different structures. I need to allocate more of my free time to study. The government allocated $200 million for schools. We waited a long time to be allocated seats on the plane. Next we have asset. Asset. It's a countable noun. It has a couple of meanings. Number one, Something that belongs to an individual or a business which has value or the power to earn money. They're normally things like real estate, money in the bank, or financial investments. Number two, a person or thing that is valuable or useful. Usage tip. For the second meaning, it is sometimes used in this structure to be an asset to somebody or something. For example, a new park would be an asset to this city. That means that a new park would be valuable to the city. It would be a nice thing for the city to have. The company's assets are worth $5 billion. Resourcefulness is a big asset if you work for a startup. That means that resourcefulness is a useful characteristic for a startup. I think George would be an asset to the accounting department. That means I think George would be a good person to work for the accounting department. He would add value. Next we have boom. Boom. It's a countable noun. It has a couple of meanings. Number one, a fast increase in economic activity. Number two, an increase in the popularity of something, such as a sport or a type of music. The verb is also boom. If a business or an industry or an economy is booming, it's growing quickly. The adjective is booming, which means growing or expanding quickly. There is a usage tip. It is often followed by in. This year has seen a boom in smartphone sales. And here are some collocations. We have an economic boom, a property boom, a boom period, and we also have the phrase boom and bust. That's when a period of fast economic growth is followed by a sudden period of decline. There has been a recent boom in the real estate market. The restaurant industry always does well during a boom period. There was an aerobics boom in the 1980s. Next we have boost. Boost. It's a verb. It means to improve something or make something increase. There are two nouns. First we have boost. A boost is an increase or something that helps something improve or increase. And we have booster. Booster has a few different meanings, but generally it's something that improves something. We need to boost our sales if we want to make a profit this year. That movie really boosted the actor's career. Next we have commodity. Commodity. It's a countable noun. It has a couple of meanings. Number one, a product or raw material that can be bought, traded, or sold, and is often used in the production of other goods. Often used when discussing economics. Number two, a useful thing or quality. Here are some collocations. We have an agriculture commodity, a basic commodity. A basic commodity is something that's commonly used. A precious commodity. a scarce commodity. Scarce means there is not very much of it available. And finally, commodity prices. So, what commodities cost? Recently, the cost of rice, oil, and other basic commodities has increased dramatically. Coffee was a scarce commodity during the war. Time is a precious commodity that we often undervalue.